welcome back to this channel of crafting, crochet and knitting. My name is Nikki. How are you guys doing? Let me know in the comments down below. Today's video, I'm probably going to keep it a little bit short because so after the saga of the plumber and electrician and the car, and then finally getting back into videos for you guys last week, I then went and got a really bad tooth abscess, and it's been really painful, and I haven't really done much crafting, so I don't have a lot to show you guys again, but I didn't want to not do a video because I've obviously missed a few videos, so I still wanted to put something out there, but it might be just a little bit shorter this week compared to usual, so yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, so the first thing I wanted to show you was progress with the giraffes. So last week I showed you some toys that I've been doing, and you know from that video or from previous videos that I like to gift these crochet toys, but I do also like to have a an example of each animal for my own collection. Sorry if I'm pausing at any point, just the tooth, sorry. So yeah, I don't think I really did very much more to the one I'm gifting, which I showed you last time. Apart from the arms, I did add the arms. And I could show you this cute little detail that if you just put a bit of yarn through the middle and thread it up here and pull it quite tight, you can get a sort of hoof shape, which is quite cute. But I didn't do the legs because as I was doing the arms, I realised that I am actually getting through the ball of yellow that I have, and I want to make my own toy. So I realised I probably need to make the bigger components of my version before I finish off the smaller bits here. It's actually quite a scientific thing right there, because so there's something called the first fit decreasing algorithm, and it basically says that if you pack something, it's more efficient for you to pack big things first and then put little things around it. And I'm kind of doing that with the yarn because I'm making the bigger projects first, and then when I get to shorter lengths that are going to be more scraps, that's when I can do the arms and legs and the horns and things. So yeah, my approach to crafts is always scientific. So I've got the body and the head sorted for my own version. I already had the snout because that was a different colour that I just did 2 snouts in and packed that colour away. And for some reason I'd already done the ears, so yeah, I've put that together because it's easier to do that when the stuffing's not inside. And then I can put this to one side now that I've got most of that done, and finish the legs on the gift and get that finished and sent. And then I can finish off the limbs and the details for my own. So that is the progress on the giraffe. The rest of the stuff I'm going to show you is actually glass painting, because we've had some really nice weather recently, and glass painting, it's good to have some sunshine so that you can see how the colours are working out. Just typical though, today we don't have sunshine, so I was really worried that the lighting was going to be terrible because it's all grey and horrible outside, but actually I think from what I can see on the screen it's coming out okay, so should be fun for showing you guys the glass painting that I've been doing. So the first one I've got is this space one. So I've got Saturn and Jupiter with the 4 Galilean moons. So you guys know I'm an astronomer. Sorry, tooth. I'm an astronomer. So I wanted to do Jupiter and Saturn for a while now. I've kind of maybe done it on too big a jar, but I just wanted to test it out. And the other thing I tested out with this is I've used the silver outliner for all of this to get that like metallic sheen, but then I tried painting over it with the glass paint. It's not my best work, this one, but it's kind of now got this gold shimmer to it instead, which does work out quite nicely, was the effect I was after. And you can actually see here I've got 2 different yellows, so this isn't technique. There are ways that you can get more colour with technique, but these are 2 different yellows. I've got my water-based paint, which is a lemon, more of a lemon colour, and I've got a solvent-based paint, which is this more golden colour, and I am definitely more of a fan of water-based at the moment because I actually had the solvent-based one leak the other day and cleaning that up with copious amounts of nail varnish remover, not ideal. So yeah. But you can see how they're slightly different. But I think in this band, which unfortunately didn't dry very well, you can see the technique of how you can change colour. So this yellow is more yellow when there is a thinner pigment, a thinner layer, so there's not as much pigment. But where it has bunched up down here, where it's dripped a bit before it dried, there's more paint, so there's more layers. And that means there's also more pigment. And you can see how the undertone, which is this golder shade, really comes through when you end up getting lots of pigment in the same place, like here. So that's that one. Don't really know what to do with it. We kept chocolate in there on one occasion, so maybe maybe chocolate is the way to go. This one is going to be a gift for somebody. It's just a candle, and if I just hold this up really close here, I hope you can see that the bottom of this flame, I tried to shade it. The bottom of the yellow part of the flame is that gold colour again, and the top is the lemon. And then the red part, the bottom is more red, and the top is, the tips are gold. So that's because I did like a base coat in the gold and then added red at the bottom of the flame to try and do some shading. And I've done a similar kind of shading with the leaves as well. So here I've got 3 different greens. I've got 2 water-based and 1 solvent-based. But when I started it, I put my lighter green on this side and my darker green here as my water-based. And that's when I sort of realised, because I hadn't used the greens in a little while, that's when I realised that the lighter green has got a yellower undertone. So you can see how it's sort of this more limey kind of colour. Whereas this one has a blue undertone, so you can see it's like more like a sea green kind of shade underneath. And they really didn't go together when it came to shading. And so I used my solvent-based green, which was sort of, I guess, more of a yellow green, but it was darker. So it was a nice mid-tone, and I kind of painted from about here up to about here in the solvent paint over the top, and that's blended it quite nicely because in the middle the solvent colour's kind of really coming out, but then it gets lighter and darker on each side, so it's blended the two together really nicely. Same there as well. And then I've gone for a slightly more uniform on the bigger leaves with the darker green, the water-based green. And I've used a bit of, I've tried to do a bit of shading with the pigment trick, so by adding more layers. Not super keen on this, I do prefer how this came out, but it's okay. And I did put a little bit of the lighter green up here as well, but yeah, overall I'm quite happy with that. And I just, because there's a lot of leaves, there's 4 leaves on here, I didn't want it all to just be the same colour, so I was trying to shade them a bit, and I'm kind of happy with how that turned out overall. So this is another gift. So here we have a dog. It's going to be a border collie, a black and white border collie. So I've done the white paws and tail and white down the front there. You actually see that better against my hair than kind of against the wall. I've done the pigment trick again with the mouth and the jaw, so the back of the mouth is darker than the tongue. But I'm not sure what to do about the black coat, because at first I'd imagined I would just fill it in with the outliner, but then I realised I'd lose all the detail if I did that. So I am definitely going to need a darker paint, but I don't have anything darker. So I'm going to have to wait until I can either order that online or when the shop's open and I can go and pick that up if I can finish that one. I actually really thought that this video would be shorter than usual because of trying to keep it short for my sake of my jaw, but actually realised I've got a lot of the glass painting, so I've still got one more jar to show you guys. So it's going to be about as long as usual. So here we have our treat jar for our rabbit. So I don't know if I've said on the channel before or not, but we have pets, and those pets are 2 rabbits. They are adorable. They cause lots of trouble, or rather one of them causes trouble. The other one was like really calm and chill, and then we got the second, and the second one has led the first astray and it causes all the mischief. But they are really, really sweet. And they get one of these every day. So with rabbits, you have to be careful with their diet, but they are allowed treats in moderation. So they get one each every day. But I wanted somewhere to store them so it would be airtight, and I got this jar down. And then realised I could paint the jar, so it was clearly their treats. So this is our first rabbit. He is an absolute fluff ball. And this is our second. Now the second one is, like I said, the most mischievous, and this is a periscope position. Usually the periscope position is like rabbits checking their environment for safety. The first one doesn't really do that because he's actually quite blind, so if he periscoped it, he wouldn't see anything anyway. So he doesn't really periscope very often, if at all. I don't think I've seen him in periscope. But the second rabbit always periscopes, and like I say, it's supposed to be checking for safety, but I'm convinced that she's periscoping to look for trouble, because she has a habit of getting everywhere you don't want her to be. But she has this lovely detail on her back. She has this lovely tan detail on her back, and again, I didn't have a tan colour, so I wasn't sure how I was going to do that, and that's when I actually used that the thick coats of that brown yellow, because the thicker I made it, the more brown it was underneath. I don't know if you can see it. Can I get it at the right angle or not? Maybe just see it, the undercoat is yellow. Maybe not, it's reflecting too much light. So I did the undercoat in the yellow and then went over the top of it with white, and actually it's worked out really nicely for this tan colour. I thought about that maybe for the Border Collie, but that's more for a brown and white Border Collie and not a black and white Border Collie, so I've sort of decided against it, and I'll just find some more grey or black paint. But it's worked out really nicely for our fluff ball of a rabbit. So yes, those two there. Maybe in the future I will post a video of our rabbits and some of the crafts I've done for them, because I like to make them toys. It saves money, better for the environment, instead of buying lots of plastic things. And as long as you use stuff that's safe for them, then it's all good. So I do craft for our rabbits sometimes. So maybe in the future I will do a video on things I craft for them. But for now, that has been some glass painting and some crochet. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm sorry that it's been a bit of a strange video compared to usual, because of me not really having much time to craft and needing to rest. But I hope you liked it anyway, and I hope to see you in the next videos. Bye for now.